All right. Hi, hey guys, it's Arali, and yeah. So as you can see by the title of the video, I kind of wanted to give you guys a just a channel update, just kind of talking about things that I've been up to, things that have been happening, and kind of update you on the things that are probably going to be coming. And we'll get into a little bit of personal stuff for those of you that are maybe more curious about the things that are like happening in the background, stuff like that. So, yeah, let's get into the personal stuff first. That way, for the people that don't care for that kind of stuff, they can skip through it. But yeah, so I've been very quiet on the channel. There hasn't been a lot of updates. There hasn't been I haven't been streaming like at all. I think I did like one stream in the last month, where I used to do three days a week. And then just the shorts haven't been happening. I haven't made any structured videos. I haven't made any videos like this. So it's been very quiet on all channels for me. And that's because a lot of stuff has happened for me in my personal life. Most of the stuff, honestly, not to be a Debbie Downer, but has been pretty negative. Like a lot of pretty crappy stuff has been happening, and it's just something that the reason why I haven't been uploading and streaming and stuff is because when I sit down to do streams and do videos, right, it starts with motivation, right? I've been dealing with depression for a very long time, and it's unmedicated, and I don't see anyone about it. But it's something that once I do get depressed, once I do get into that mode of, hey, I'm not feeling anything, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to, I don't have the motivation to be like super excited and happy. And I don't want to do streams or videos where I seem like I'm down, right? That's the whole thing. It's like, I don't want to be on camera and just sit here and be like, yeah, we're playing this game today. And I really, and when I do get depressed, I also, whenever I do stream, like you will see the streams that are shorter are when I'm depressed because there's only so long that I can sit here and talk to you guys and pretend that I'm like super excited to be here, right? And I hate that because I don't want to force myself to do it. I want to do it because I want to have a good time with you guys. Um, and so I kind of stayed away. I kind of haven't done any of that stuff. And I will say that things haven't really gotten better for me. But it's also I've had time to kind of reflect and think on things. So for me specifically, like making videos, um, you know, the thing is the streams I have to kind of like plan and schedule and kind of do specific time with you guys. The videos I can do at any point in time, right? So what I've been kind of doing is there's periods in between of dealing with all the crappy stuff where I've been in a good mood, or I've really had some energy or motivation or whatever, and I've slowly been working on stuff in the background. So that's kind of been happening. I hope that things will get better. We always hope things will get better, right? But I still am dealing with a lot of stuff. So what is some of the stuff that I've been dealing with? Um, so first of all, I kind of have been. I think I put some stuff out on the community post, the community page on YouTube, and a little bit on Twitter and stuff. But so we're currently, for my job, I'm a bartender, and in the region we are in the off season. Okay, so it's very slow for us. It's a slow season, and the like our active season is coming shortly. But I've just kind of been struggling through it. It's affected me this year more than any other year, probably a lot more. So money has been very tight for me, to the point where it's just very concerning. But it's something that I just got to pull through. I've been looking for other jobs, for other opportunities, maybe um, in other industries and things like that. There's a couple of things. Obviously, there's like interviews that I've been doing. There's like opportunities here and there, but it's all a matter of time management. And is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I can do, that I'm confident that I will be good at? Stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff happening there, and that's also been taking a lot of my time. But then I also had, as I told you guys, so one of my cats, I have cats a lot on the property. They're not inside cats. But one of my oldest cat, specifically my cat, like that cat is specifically like my baby. Like I raised her from being a tiny little thing. But she got run over luckily she lived, but it was like it kind of shocked me, right? It was like, you know, I was in shock for a few days, and she was as well. She survived, and I didn't know how the effects were gonna go. I didn't know what the next steps were after this, right? I didn't know if, things are gonna get worse or better, or what the heck is going on. Well, good news. I guess in all the stuff that's been happening for everyone, I guess there's some good news. She's doing great. She's now a permanent inside cat because she had an issue with her leg before, and then now that her pelvis, a bone in her pelvis was broken from the accident, she's now a permanent inside cat. So she's gonna be hanging out. I kind of showed her off a little bit on stream. She will be around, and she is full of energy. At 15 years old, that cat acts like she's like 2. So she runs around and she wants to play, and she scratches me and bites me. I don't know if you guys can see that. She like bit me today. I'm like, great, okay. We're doing that. So, but yeah, so she's doing good. But that again kind of took some time because it was about like 3 weeks of me kind of worrying about what would happen. But now she's doing good, and she's gonna be an inside cat, so I don't really have to worry about that happening to her again. Like I said, she's had issues before in the past, so I kind of just, but that. And then while that happened, right after that happened, actually, I had my AC. So for those of you that don't know, I live in Florida, so we have 300 days of 90-degree weather about like a year. I mean, it's hot all the time. Yeah, it does rain, but it just makes it more humid. It doesn't cool it down. So we have very tropical weather here. And my AC went out for a whole week. I lived in a house of 90-degree weather. It was very hot in here. I about lost my mind, um, literally. And yeah, so that was again something. So there's been a lot of stuff that's just kind of been piling on that I've been dealing with. There's other things in the back that, I'm not gonna. Those were the big three that I kind of wanted to talk about. I do have some notes that I wrote down for this video, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a little like background as to like there's been stuff that I've been dealing with, and not that I'm trying to like apologize for it. I'm just trying to make you guys understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, so like I said, I am trying to still work on stuff. We've had the reason why I'm kind of doing this video, and you guys will actually see 2 videos today. Because right after this, I'm going to be doing an Underspace video. So we have some great news for Underspace. For those of you that don't know, Freelancer is a big game of my childhood. It's a game that's stayed with me for a long time. It's something that I've always hoped we would get a spiritual successor or a sequel to, or whatever you want to call it, right? And we haven't really, like, Star Citizen is being made, and I feel like anyone that understands like space simulators, like that has maybe kept up with the news, understands where Star Citizen is at. Star Citizen, for those of you that don't know, was like a Kickstarter campaign that like made like it's like one of the biggest Kickstarter campaigns for like video games or whatever. It's like huge, and it made so much money. And it was supposed to be about it was supposed to be a spiritual successor to Freelancer. But it's been in production for over 10 years, and it's made like, I could be wrong, but I want to say like $600 million or something. They've kind of collected money over the years. Like people are paying money for like starships that are not even in the game yet, and the game, like, I guess there's test, or you can play like alpha builds of it or whatever, and they crash really. It's really like what's there is great, but it's like it's just really buggy and it's really bad, and they have no plans on, like, they have no release date for it. So it's been very like iffy, right? It's been a lot of people have been talking about how like it's the biggest scam in history because of like how much money they've collected and how much they have not given us and whatever. So I kind of I kind of followed Star Citizen for a few years, and I kind of gave up on it. And then as you guys know, I made the review for Freelancer, which still sees a lot of views every month. And I did talk about how I wanted to do reviews for the mods in there as well, which is something that I have been working on specifically for the Crossfire mod. But it's a lot of time investment for me. But in all of that, in the last couple of years, there's been a game that's been like a it's supposed to be like a spiritual. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it feels like a spiritual successor to Freelancer. It kind of plays the same way. It has the same ideas. It has the same like concept, but like expanded upon, right? And that's Underspace. Like Underspace is just it's been very exciting to see the growth in, right? You guys have seen a few videos that I've made on the updates for it and stuff, and they're actually so they have a new publisher now, Camlin Games, and so now they're going into overtime. They're like really ramping up things, and they're having like I think early access is the new release date is like second quarter of 2024, so it's coming in like half a year or so, somewhere around that. And it's something that, or 3 quarters of a year, doesn't really matter, but it's something that I'm very excited about because I think that game has a lot of potential and it looks really good and it plays really well, and it's something that I'm super excited about. And I will be making the second video, like I said, today, and I'll go more into details. And yeah, there's some exciting news for them, so you will see more of that in the coming months. Probably I will probably start following it more closely than I have. I have followed it, but I kind of, like I said, with Secrets of the Obscure coming out for Guild Wars 2 and me trying to like struggle to make more videos and then all the other stuff going on, I kind of just fell behind on kind of following up on some of the Underspace stuff. But I've seen some pictures, I've seen the new trailer, it looks really good, and we have some good, interesting news to talk about. So you will see more of that in the coming months for sure. And then Guild Wars 2, of course. So let's talk a little bit about Guild Wars 2. Yeah, so Secrets of the Obscure came out. I did do a review of it, and I am currently working on two specific videos. I want to say I don't have them all written down. I have notes everywhere, and I'm trying to see. So I'm working on a story synopsis right now, which that video is very far in production so far. And then I'm working on a new animal facts and Easter eggs video. I will tell you guys that. Then I'm working on a underwater expansion video. So I've done one of those videos before. This was like, I think this was like right after, this was like right when End of Dragons was actually announced, because I talked about how we're going to be dealing with the underwater dragon, and and I think in that video I talked about how you know, since we are dealing with the underwater dragon, there's going to be a lot of underwater content, so let's talk about the underwater content. Obviously that became completely like, just, it completely changed, right? The whole idea of like, you know, Suwon and the underwater dragon, like all these things became, you know, End of Dragons, and it wasn't an underwater expansion. But I still think that I have some really good ideas for an underwater expansion, guys. I think you guys will really enjoy it, the stuff that I've been coming up with. I have some really good ideas, so I wanted to make like a concept video. I'm gonna keep it like, you know, the new expansion like cadence and you know, how they are doing them, how Arena is making them, you know, with the 2 maps at first and then 1 map afterward, and kind of doing like an annual, like, I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the story. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the maps, about the features, about the masteries, about rewards, like those types of things I want to talk about, because I've been talking about this for a little bit. I had a few ideas, and I actually sat down and I wrote some notes down. And the other day, I had like a really good idea that I wrote down, and I'm like, this is definitely happening. So I started writing the script for that video. I don't know. Again, I don't have any release cadence on any of these videos, but just so you guys know, this is in works. And then like in conjunction with that video as well, I talked a little bit about Malagan, right? Malagan being the Quaggan goddess that the Quaggan worship, right? This goddess or whatever. And I kind of wanted to go more into making like a little theory about it. I've talked about the theory that I have, but I kind of want to flesh it out and make a separate video for it. I feel like that would be very cool, and how that maybe could tie into an underwater expansion, kind of. So it's going to be like almost like a two-parter, not really, but they're going to be they're going to be very like subject adjacent, I guess, right? Because we're talking about underwater, and then we're talking about like an underwater goddess, so it's going to be like subject adjacent. But that video, and then of course I do have the dual classing series that I started with the Warrior, and I haven't done any other ones. So definitely we're going to be doing the Necro next. Um, and then I wanted to do there's going to be one video that I don't know if I'm doing it, so I'm not going to really talk about it. But then the other series that I wanted to start was a regional lore series. I wanted to start talking about, like, Ascalon, and kind of give you guys a background on the lore, kind of go through, like, make a 15-minute video kind of talking about the history and the lore, the important events that are happening, important people. And I want to go through, like, each of the regions. So I want to do, like, Ascalon. I want to do the, like, central and southern Shiver Peaks. I want to do Kryta. I want to do, all those things, like Maguma Jungle, like those things. I want to kind of go through and do that with you guys. To give new players, because we've seen so many new players in Guild Wars 2, kind of giving them a lot of them are kind of, they're lost when they go into the world, right? They don't understand anything about it. And they're like, well, do I need to play Guild Wars 1? Well, not really, right? But to understand the world, and again, for me, and I've talked about this recently, a huge thing about video games is immersion, right? Like, I want to be immersed in the game, okay? And when I don't understand how a world works or what the history is, I don't have that much immersion, right? So it's like, okay, how can I help people understand more of it, right? So I'm trying to do like and I've talked about this before. I actually started writing a script for it specifically for the Ascalon, and it ended up being like 8 pages. And 8 pages probably translate to about 30-40 minutes of a video. And I'm like, well, I don't want to make that detailed of a video and just, you know, dump all of these tiny little details that people don't care about. So I kind of had to scrap that, and kind of I have to revise it and really go with, like, the most important things, the things that have to do with Guild Wars 2. And we don't have to go into every detail. We don't have to go about every, because I kind of had, like, every location in Pre-Seeing Ascalon. I talked about. It's like, well, 90% of them are not going to be important, right? It's just important to talk about Pre-Seeing, and the things that have happened in the history of Guild Wars, or Ascalon specifically. I mean, when we're talking about that region, and just kind of give that, or when we're talking about Kryta, right? The things that happen in Kryta, like, but I don't have to talk about every little detail about it. So I kind of had to, start from scratch on that, because I feel like I just went too deep in it. I kind of got carried away, because I'm just so interested, and I'm like, I want everyone to know everything that I know, but it's like, obviously we can't do that. We're doing an introductory to the lore on the regions, because we want to introduce new players to these regions and kind of make them feel like they're familiar, like, make them feel like they kind of know what the heck is going on, right? When they're going in and they're, like, playing a Char and Ascalon and Plains of Ashford, and they're going around and they're just like, what is all of this stuff? Who are all these people? Why are there ghosts? Why is there, like, why is Ascalon such a big deal? Like, what the heck's going on, right? I want them to, like, look up on YouTube, like, Guild Wars 2 Ascalon or whatever, right? Or Google or whatever. And I want my video to pop up, and I want them to have, like, 15 minutes of sitting down watching this video and be like, okay, I can go into Plains of Ashford and kind of know why there's ghosts here, why Ascalon is important, why the Char are here, why they're fighting humans, blah, blah, blah. Like, kind of understand that, right? So, I feel like that's something that I will tackle after most of those videos are done. Obviously, the dual classing video series is going to go on for a long time, because those are huge, like, huge productions for me. There's a lot of little details and effort, and just nuances that I have to, like, look up and, write into the script and come up with things and blah, 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 blah. So those videos are going to be going on for a long time. But, once I've done all these other videos, I'm probably going to start doing, like, a regional lore thing. So if you guys are interested in that, you can watch that. And then, yeah, so let's talk a little bit about streaming. So I've always had on my, like, uploads and stuff, you guys will see, in the description, there's always, like, oh, this is my streaming schedule. I've now taken that off of all the new videos, will not have that on there anymore, because I don't really want to have a set streaming schedule. There are gonna be random streams that I'm gonna be doing. I think that's probably for the best. I think when I schedule the streams, then I feel forced to have to do them. Um, and then they're not as good as they should be. I'd rather do them on a day where I'm like, I'm really feeling like hanging out and playing some Guild Wars 1 with you guys, and I just go live. You know what I mean? because the good thing about it is that even if you guys miss those streams, which is unfortunate, but they are uploaded to YouTube, right? So you can watch them after the fact. So it's not like you guys will miss out, right? For those of you that are really interested in being there for all of those streams, just follow me on Twitter. Make sure that you hit that bell. Like, I'm not trying to like, you know, just I'm not trying to like push like, oh yeah, subscribe to the channel, but I'm saying for those people that are really interested in being there when those things happen, make sure you hit that bell icon, make sure that you get the notification when I go live and you can be there, right? Or like I said, Discord, you can join the Discord. There's not a lot going on in the Discord server. You know, people have been coming and going kind of in the Discord server, but I'm saying like it's still a platform where you guys will get informed when I go live. I think so. I think most of the time you get informed on that. I'm not sure. The best way probably is Twitter. It's the easiest, right? You can just follow me on Twitter and it'll send you a notification or whatever or I will tweet out when I go live, things like that. Other than that, I just it's just a matter of just people sticking around. But again, so but you can watch them after the fact, right? So that's the good thing, and I think just doing them at random is probably the best for me, just because I think that like I said, with everything going on right now, I don't know, once I find it, the thing is, I don't want to have a schedule where I say, okay, I'm going to be streaming Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I find a new job and they're like, hey, we need you to work Monday through Friday. And then it's like, well, I don't want to stream if I have to work 10 hours on a Monday. I don't want to come home and have to stream for 3 hours with you guys because I'm just tired and I'm just going to fall asleep at the computer, because that's happened before. I haven't literally fallen asleep, but I think there's been times where I'm like, literally, like, my eyes are closed and I'm like, oh, I'm still alive. Oh, I need to wake up and, like, you know, be more active or whatever. So I'd rather have like more energetic, more. I mean, I'm not over the top. As you guys know, I'm not an over the top streamer. I'm not an over the top, like, oh my God, I'm not screaming, I'm not, I mean, I just did, but I'm saying like, I don't, I'm not, I find that fake. A lot of those people do it for publicity, right? They're trying to get out there. I'm more of a like, I just tell you guys how I feel. I try to be super honest, and this is not me saying like I'm so much cooler than these other people, because I'm not like exaggerating. It's not me trying to say, but I'm just trying to like make you guys understand like that's the type of streamer that I am. But there is still a difference between my streams where I'm like, hey guys, yeah, and I'm like sad or whatever, versus where I'm like kind of how I'm like right now, where I'm like in a good mood and I'm like, hey, let's hang out and let's have a good time, and then that way I can do them at like random times and of the day, even like if I feel like doing one early in the morning or very late at night or something like that, I can just do them. Keeping up with the schedule was kind of a problem for me, and even when I was on Twitch, it was a problem for me, where for a year I didn't stream because it was just like I couldn't keep up with the schedule, and then I was like, I was in a relationship, so that was just like taking a lot of my time too, because we were like constantly doing stuff, and yeah, but so I think we won't have so what I'm trying to say is we won't have a streaming schedule, but streams will be coming. I will be doing like once in a while streams, like I'm maybe thinking about doing one tonight, maybe later tonight. I didn't look at it, but I think I'm still a tester for Underspace. So as I'm going into the next video here in a minute, and it's going to be two separate videos, but as you know, I will be talking about it. But Underspace, I still think I'm a tester, because I'm still on the testing uh like channel on the Discord for Underspace. I would like to kind of go into that, because there's like new demos that have been coming out, and I haven't looked at it in a while, So kind of I want to do a stream for that and kind of show that off again, and kind of do more of that with you guys, and it's probably going to be a shorter stream, but just kind of showing that stuff off and kind of give them. I'm trying to give them like, I don't have a huge viewership, but I want to give them some visibility, and they're barely having anyone follow them on Twitter, and it's all pretty new. All of their social media things are all pretty new because it came with the publisher. But I'm just saying, like, if you guys are interested in a really cool space simulator that is really close to Freelancer, 100% Underspace. Like, check that out. Make sure. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of give you guys an update. Again, there's not, I know I went into like a little bit of personal stuff here and there. I'm still alive. I'm still, everyone struggles all the time. I'm not trying to say that, oh, woe is me, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a little background as to what's going on with me, and kind of give you guys a little, update on what's happening with the channel. The one other thing I forgot to talk about is the Guild Wars 2 shorts. They're super popular. People really, really like those. The issue with them is not necessarily the time investment. It takes me about an hour to two to make one. But the problem is that I'm running low on, like, I'm gonna give you guys like a quick look at this, and there's I think 3 or 4 of them that I've done. I'm doing this one. I did this one that I haven't crossed off. But as you guys can see, I'm running out of stuff. I'm running out of stuff. So I need to kind of actually, like, even new stuff that I've written down. There's like these last, actually there's one on the bottom here, but I'm running out of things. So it's like a matter of me having to rewrite this list, which I have to do every few months or whatever. But there's a, I just need to find more things. So that's kind of, I'm still trying to make them on a weekly slash bi-weekly basis. I want to do them, but it's really just a matter of me sitting down and like looking at the little details and really going around and researching the little details and stuff. So but I'm trying to make them happen on a weekly basis, and I really love you guys for watching those, enjoying those. They're a blast to make. They're really fun to make because it's like, I get excited when other people get excited, right? And it's like I post them and people are just like, oh my god, I had no idea. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I love that, because it's just like I feel like I'm enhancing everyone's enjoyment of the game, right? They feel, again, it's about the immersion, it's about the, like, really, just kind of like this world is so detailed and alive in its own way, and I'm trying to like bring that to the forefront rather than just having people like look at a DPS checker and just like punching the same strike bosses over and over again. I kind of want people to get more out of the game than those things. But I've talked about that plenty of times. Anyways, that's going to be it for today, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, look out for those streams coming in. Look out for the Underspace videos and a bunch of the Guild Wars videos. Again, we do have a merch store that is in the description. If you guys want to do super chats, you can do those. If you guys want to donate, there should be a link as well down there, I think. It's definitely on my Streamlabs page. You can go on there. And yeah, and we do have memberships. So if you guys want to become a member, you can do that. It's $5 a month. And all that stuff would help me out. Obviously, you don't have to do it, but while I'm here, I might as well tell you guys about it. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.